Hello, wonderful learners, and a huge welcome back to English Boost Studio. This is the place where we make learning English feel easy, fun, and absolutely achievable for everyone. I'm your host, Emily, and today we're diving into a topic that almost every English learner finds tricky: listening. Not just any kind of listening, I mean real listening, the kind where you understand English naturally, without any subtitles. Maybe you love watching movies in English, or you enjoy TV shows and YouTube videos, and maybe you always keep those subtitles on because you're worried you won't understand without them. Subtitles feel safe, they help you. But here's the problem. When you read subtitles, your eyes are doing the work, not your ears. You might think you're listening, but really you're reading. Then when you turn the subtitles off, everything goes fuzzy. You think, I don't understand anything. That's why so many learners feel stuck. They depend on subtitles like a crutch, something you can't walk without. But today, I want to show you a new way, a better way, a way to train your ears and your brain so you can understand English naturally without reading along. So let me ask you, what if I told you there's a secret, a simple secret most learners miss? It's not about memorizing more words, it's not about listening for 10 hours a day, it's about how you listen. It's about training your brain step by step until English sounds clear, until it feels natural. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together. All right, step number one is all about choosing the right kind of material. This sounds simple, but here's where many learners make a mistake. They pick something way too hard. Maybe they turn on the English news, where people speak really fast, or they choose a complicated movie with fast dialogue, slang, jokes, and unclear sound. When they listen, they feel discouraged. They think, my English is bad. I can't understand anything. But let me tell you something. That's not your fault. It's not because you're bad at English. It's not because you can't learn. It's just the wrong material. If you tried to climb a huge mountain on your very first day, of course you'd struggle. But if you start with a small hill, you can walk, you can climb, you can succeed. Listening is the same. In the beginning, you need what I call high context English. What does that mean? Well, high context means you can understand the situation, the action, and the meaning, even if you don't catch every single word. You don't feel lost. You can guess what's happening. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're watching a children's cartoon in English. The characters move a lot. The pictures tell the story. A kid wakes up, washes his face, eats breakfast, and goes to school. Even if you miss some words, the pictures help you. You see the action, you hear the words, and your brain connects them. You understand. Another example is a simple story podcast for learners. The narrator speaks slowly. The sentences are short. The story is about daily life. I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go to work. These are things you already know, routines you live every day. Because you know the context, your brain can guess the meaning even if you don't hear every sound clearly. That's high context listening. And it's powerful because it builds your confidence. You don't feel like you're drowning in an ocean of English words. You feel like you're in shallow water. It's safe, you can swim a little, you can move, you can practice. Then, when you feel stronger, you can go deeper. So at the start, choose simple, high context material: a cartoon, a learner story, a short podcast, something clear and predictable. When you do this, your brain learns to connect sound with meaning. Your ears grow stronger, and little by little, day by day, you'll be ready for more. Okay, let's move to step two. This is about how you listen. A lot of learners press play, listen once, then stop. They say, I don't understand, feel frustrated, and give up. But listening just once isn't enough. Your brain needs more time. Your ears need more training. That's why I use something I call the 3-listen rule. It's simple, but very powerful. It means you listen to the same thing 3 times. Each time, you have a different goal. The first listen is for the gist. Gist means the big picture, the overall meaning. You're not trying to catch every word. Just ask yourself, what is this about? For example, maybe you understand it's a story about travel or food or a family at home. That's enough. You got the gist. The second listen is for key phrases. A key phrase is a group of words that carries meaning. It's often repeated or important in the story. For example, I woke up early. I went to the shop. I felt tired. This time, you start to notice these phrases. They begin to sound familiar, not just as single words, but as chunks of language. The third listen is for details. Details are the little pieces of information. Maybe you hear the person woke up at 7 a.m. Maybe they bought 3 apples. Maybe it was raining. On this listen, you don't worry if you miss some words, but you try to catch a few of these details. They make the story clearer and richer. Think of the three listen rule like looking at a painting. First, you stand far back. You see the big shape. Then you move closer. You see the lines and patterns. Finally, you come very close. You see the small colors and tiny objects. All three views give you the full picture. It's the same with listening. Now let's talk about something that worries a lot of learners, the idea that you must understand every single word. Many learners think, if I don't understand all the words, I understand nothing. They panic when they miss something. They stop, they feel like they've failed. But here's a secret. Even native speakers don't understand every word all the time. It's true. Imagine two native speakers talking. One uses a difficult technical word that the other doesn't know. Does that person say, "Oh no, I can't understand English"? No, they keep listening. They focus on the meaning. They figure it out from the other words, from the situation, from the context. You can do this too. Real listening isn't about catching 100% of the words. Real listening is about catching the message. It's about understanding the story, even if a few words are missing. Let me give you an example. Imagine a friend says, "Hey, do you want to grab a coffee later?" Maybe you don't know the word grab. That's okay. You hear coffee, you hear later, you hear the questioning tone. You understand this person wants to drink coffee with me. That's the meaning, and that's enough. This is how listening works in real life. You pick up the important words, connect them to the situation, and your brain fills in the gaps. So tell yourself, I don't need every word. I need the message. That's how you build real listening confidence. Now let's put it all into action. How can you practice every day? First, choose something simple, not a long, hard movie. Pick a short podcast or a simple video with a clear topic. Second, listen without subtitles. This is crucial. Don't let your eyes do the work, trust your ears. Third, use the three listen rule. Listen for the gist, listen for key phrases, listen for details. After that, if you want, you can turn on subtitles to check the words or expressions you missed. Repeat this every day. Even 10 minutes is enough. The secret isn't listening once a week for hours. The secret is daily practice. Every day, your brain learns a little more. Every day, your ears get stronger. Remember, learning a language is a journey. It's not about being perfect. It's about communicating, connecting, and sharing your stories. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps the channel so much. And subscribe to the English Boost Studio if you haven't already. We make new lessons every day to help you feel more confident in English. Thank you so much for watching and practicing with me. You are doing an amazing job. Keep going. Until next time, bye for now.